We're joined now by his former coach at United, Rennie Meulensteeg. Good morning.
Good morning, Rennie.
Thanks for coming back. What do you think he's going to bring? What influence is he going to have on this group, and can he make them title challenges again?
Well, I think that is definitely one of the reasons. I think why he wanted to come back to Manchester United. I can sort of imagine what the conversation has been about with him and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying, listen, I'm not coming back just to play a few games and to please the fans. I want to play games here. I want to be important. I want to help United to win the Premier League title back. That's in his DNA. So he will bring a lot of things. Obviously, he will drive those standards, and he has always had himself the highest of standards. You look at him. I think he's 36 now. He's still got a body of somebody that is 26. So he's looked after himself fantastically. He's a really good trainer. So that will bring the expectations that he brings. And he will obviously, again, he will still keep scoring goals. It's important that the team will gel. One of the most important things is that Cristiano, when he left United, he was a young and upcoming talent and a player. Now he's an arrived superstar where he can play a very important role with all the young players and other players around him. But it needs to make sure that they all gel together.
Yeah, Rennie, I know he obviously goes straight into the team. They've got so much firepower now. Does it mean that Greenwood moves out to the right, but then you've got Sancho as well in there, Dan James? And does he fit straight in with Cavani? Did they change the system?
Well, Sam, we can talk about this all day, because the one thing what it does, it obviously brings a lot of options. And like you said, if everybody is fit, then Ole can put probably 3 or 4 dangerous front lines together, whatever's needed in the team. But like I said, I can't see, Ronaldo, he will start. And it's just a matter where he can play, obviously, in all the positions off the front. He's played a lot of games through the middle, a few last couple of seasons. So I don't know, but that's for Ole and his staff to sort it out, to make sure that they come up, because he needs service. That's the most important thing. If you give him the service, he will put it in the back of the net.
Rennie, just looking at you mentioned there Ronaldo when he was a young up and coming player. You had a lot to do with his development at the football club. He went to see Michael Clegg for his strengthening conditioning, but the individual detail and work that he put into himself with his speed, strength, finishing, movement, nutrition, mentality, all them things put together, because people talk about his mentality and he doesn't feel pressure. Is that why he doesn't feel pressure? Because he puts so much effort into every part of his game?
Yes, and I think it's also part of being knowledgeable about it. I mean, if you think about, okay, if you look at pressure, what is pressure? Yeah, pressure becomes a pressure if you don't deal with it in the right way. If you see it in a different light, yeah, and you see it that whatever's in front of you is a challenge and an opportunity, which you want to rise up to, and that is Cristiano, and that is the biggest thing. I think, when he moved to Real Madrid, and Messi was firing from all cylinders at Barcelona, and he was winning the Ballon d'Or and scoring the most goals. There have been moments that Cristiano could have thrown the towel in the ring and said, forget it, but he didn't. What did he do? He rose to the challenge and worked even harder, worked even smarter, even better, even more. And then he got what he wanted. He was on top, and he got the Ballon d'Or, and he scored the most goals. And that is sort of attitude that he brings with him. He is such a winner in that respect, and that will rub off to the rest of the team, I hope.
And that is important, isn't it? The influence that he has off the field. Talk to me a little bit about that Manchester United midfield, though, because although they seem to have quite a lot of options going forward and so many different varieties of attacking player, that midfield has come under quite a lot of criticism because it's been struggling in the early part of the season. What's the best configuration, do you think?
Well, I think... I don't know whether you agree with me, Jamie, but I always feel that you need, especially in a team like Manchester United, and you look at the history of Manchester United, there needs to be, in the 6 roles, in the sort of central defensive midfield role, you need players that are a little bit and. At my time there, we obviously had Michael Carrick, and he shuffled across and he closed the gaps and all that. But on top of that, he was an outstanding footballer that can feed the ball forward. And that is a little bit, that quality is lacking at the moment. And then you have the question, because obviously Ole's not too keen to play Paul Pogba there, because he mostly plays with the 2 sixes protecting the back line with Fred and with McTominay. And those players have plenty of qualities in terms of defensive, this and that. They do lack that quality in really, keeping a rhythm and a flow in a game going forward. Because if you got a front line like that, you need to break those lines quickly and with quality. So there is definitely room for a different configuration. We talked a lot about, obviously, and the question is, why is Donny van de Beek not getting any minutes? I'm quite a big fan of Donny, because I know him and I've seen him play, and I've seen him play in the 6 at Ajax. I've seen him play further up the pitch. He can play in both positions, but sometimes you need to sort of work with those better footballers to make sure that defensively, if everybody works together, you can still be a very solid unit.
Yeah, I've watched them last few games. Watched them against Southampton. Watched them against Wolves. They're still really sloppy in possession sometimes, though. It's frustrating with the players that they've got. They should. I feel they could give more. Can you see them really being challenges for the title?
If things fall into place and it clicks and he finds the right formula, I think they can. But again, what you saw against Southampton, if you saw them against Leeds compared to then to Southampton and yesterday with Wolves, it was a draw against Southampton and they got away with it yesterday, I think, because Wolves was outstanding. The way that they pressed, give Man United never a chance. They never got into a flow of a game, a little bit of a rhythm. And that was a little bit instrumental in many games, that they started a bit lackluster, a bit slow, and you can't afford that. I mean, United is a team that needs to play home and away, grab the game with a scruff of the neck, and that's why you need good ball players in the middle of the park that can keep the ball, that can give the rhythm, run the energy out of the legs of the opposition. But if you've got too many players that keep giving the ball away, as you said, you will struggle. So that's one of the part of the games that they need to get right.
Rennie, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you left Manchester United, there was a quote that was given to, which was supposed to have come from you, to David Moyes, saying that he was a skipper of a rowing boat and Manchester United is a cruise liner. Is that true? And also on top of that, would you say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got what it takes to make this Manchester United team title winners?
I don't know exactly if that, but what I was trying to explain with that line, and not really be disrespectful, I just wanted to paint the picture that United was going to be a different kettle of fish. And on a cruise liner, you have to have the ability to making sure that you got a strong organization. You trust the people, because you can't be on top of the deck and you cannot be below deck at the same time. So you need to be able to get the right people and trust them and let them get on with it. Yeah. You need to delegate. That was the main point that I wanted to make there. And
I understand that.
And obviously, and with Ole, I mean, the most important thing is that obviously the club has made a conscious decision to bring somebody back that could really sort of establish that link between the fans, and the players and the staff. Ole knows exactly what the expectations are at Manchester United in terms of, the results they need to get, but also the sort of style they need to play. If you look at his time now, he has been gradually working towards that by using the transfer windows. I think one of the best, obviously, ones that he's brought in was Bruno, because I think Bruno Fernandes has that Manchester United DNA, that energy in the team. He always plays with confidence, always look to create things, assist and score goals. So that was a big part. And now he's got another transfer window with Varane coming in, Jadon Sancho coming in, and now Cristiano Ronaldo. So for me, I'm sure, and I think I read it somewhere, he says this is the strongest squad that I've had since I've been here. So he will know, no excuses. We have to start performing and getting results, and they need to stay up there, making sure that they keep competing all the way to the end.
It certainly is the strongest squad that he's had since he took over as the Manchester United boss. He's added Jadon Sancho for 73 million quid. He's signed Rafael Varane, a multi-Champions League winner, and he's just signed one of the best players that the world has ever seen in Cristiano Ronaldo. So he can't certainly complain about the resources that he's been given. Will he still have Jesse Lingard in his ranks going into this season? Because there's been a lot of speculation about him moving on. That seemed to have been dampened down by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, suggesting that he would stay at United. But now Ronaldo's arrived, is it better for Jesse that he moves on and plays regular football elsewhere?
Well, yeah, well, Jesse is not a young player anymore, and it's funny that you say that because I've always been a big fan of Jesse because I know Jesse since he first walked through the door at at the Cliff training ground when you was only 7-8 years of age, and that was my first job at the time as skills development coach, and Jesse was in that generation, and it's fantastic to see how he's developed, but he's got a lot of similar traits as Bruno Fernandes, so to speak, coming in between the lines, picking the ball up, receiving on the back foot, driving at people. I think against West Ham, you saw again what Jesse's capable of doing, and it all comes down to minutes and confidence. That's what all the players want. And Jesse has an age at this moment in time. He's given a choice to say, listen, you're going to be a bit part player at Manchester United, or there's a club coming in for him. For example, is West Ham maybe want to bring him back? Then he will probably guaranteed more play time. So that's the choice that he has to make.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.